going on, Kings fans? It's Tyler here with the Sacktown Breakdown, and we got another W tonight. Woo! I'm excited. We got a W. About damn time. Jeff the Lefty in the chat. What's going on? How's it going? What do you think about the Kings win tonight? Let's go ahead and make that chat box. I like to make the words a little bigger, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Wow. Okay, so we won tonight. We beat the Hawks 121 to 109, I think. Yeah. Hard fought game. Our bench really mopped up, to be honest. I'm gonna get to that later portion of the game later. There's actually a couple things I really want to talk about with this game. And I'm kind of curious to see what you guys have to say about it. I'm not super fired up about anything. I'm actually kind of tired. But hey, as Skip said, I'm the Tapinator. I'm the Terminator. I pump out the content, and that's what we're doing here. I didn't take notes on the third and fourth quarter because I had to go. Pick up food, and then I was eating it, so I kind of didn't take notes. But obviously, I have opinions. I always have opinions. So let's get into it. Jeff the Lefty, are you ready? You put in the chat that you're waiting, so you better be ready, because you were waiting and now I'm here. You have me all to yourself, because nobody else is watching me right now, I don't think. Anyways, that got kind of weird fast. Okay, so let's break down this game. The Kings came out, the first quarter. They didn't start great. De'Aaron Fox had 2 turnovers in the first minute and a half of the game, which, as you know, he had 6-7 turnovers at last game. So that was pretty annoying. Let me go ahead actually real quick. Kings Hawks box score. Let me pull this up. I should be pulling this up before every breakdown, but for some reason, the idiot known as me, Tyler, never remembers to do that. We got the box score right here, though. Let me go ahead and pull the box score up. So you got, we'll start with Fox. He had 5 turnovers this game. He has been averaging a ton of turnovers. Not good. When I say he had 7 turnovers last game, it was something crazy. But if you consider the fact that 2 of those turnovers were in literally the first minute and a half of the first quarter, the first minute and a half of the game, just kind of, I don't know, lump those into one. Then you got 3 turnovers the rest of the game, 1 turnover per quarter. Actually, not that bad, for someone that handles the ball as much as him. So you can make the argument that this doesn't look as bad as you think, but still, 5 turnovers and for any player is too much. So first quarter, they were decent. They were all right. Oh, Skip's in here. We're good. Never mind. Skip and Tosh is in the building. First quarter was all right. It wasn't they didn't do anything too flashy. It wasn't anything too oh my God. I will say this, though, and this is something, not to keep talking about Willie, but I have to keep talking about Willie. Richaun Holmes, by the way, Willie Cauley-Stein, absolute traitor, was trying to go to the Warriors in 2017. What? Really? That was crazy to me. We read that. I'm sure every Kings fan read that within the last, 24 hours. That was a couple. Jeff the Lefty said a couple. A couple what? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so Richaun Holmes, when this man is in the paint, this man affects shots. You can tell when players drive in on him or drive to the basket, Rashawn Holmes, like, just his presence alone, just him being there, players, like, you know how when you're playing 2K and you got to drive the ball to the basket and you have to, like, tap square a bunch of times because you know you're going to get blocked? You're trying to readjust your shot or, like, do it with the analog or whatever. I feel like everybody does that when they drive to the rim on Rashawn Holmes. Because Rashawn Holmes, they know Rashawn Holmes is going to affect their shot or block their shot. So they're, like, trying to do all these weird moves and stuff. I don't know. It's just, Rashawn Holmes is the anchor we needed. Kosta Koufos wasn't athletic enough. Willie Cauley-Stein was athletic enough, but he didn't have the mind for it. Kosta Koufos had the mind for it, but he wasn't athletic. We got the Kosta Koufos, Willie Cauley-Stein love child. He's got the little baby hook, but he's athletic. He can dunk. It's beautiful. It's really a gross and kind of creepy thing to talk about. But we have it, and it is something that I didn't know I ever wanted, but I got it now, and it's I'm showing it off. I want everybody to know. I may get a megaphone and yell around my neighborhood, I got the Kosta Koufos, Willie Cauley-Stein love child. I don't know if anybody will know what I'm talking about. But I'll still do it anyways because I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's move on. Okay, so the Kings, regardless, they were kind of soft on defense. Now, Rashawn Holmes is the man. But defensively, it was just kind of like, I don't know. The Kings weren't really showing much. It was just kind of like, to be honest, I kind of thought they were going to lose the game the way the first 2 minutes started. I was like, oh. But then we got to a 15-8 lead. We started hitting some of our shots, so that was nice. It wasn't a total, terrible first quarter. Second quarter, Harrison Barnes had a nice drive to the basket, a nice finish. Harry Giles came in, played 6 minutes, 4 points, a rebound, a block. Nice block. There was a broken play where Bogdanovich basically was I don't know what he was doing. I think maybe Corey Joseph started with the ball. And I want to talk about Corey Joseph and Bogdanovich because I noticed something tonight, but we'll get to that in a second. It was kind of I don't know if it was De'Aaron Fox or Corey Joseph. Somebody had the ball. I don't remember who had the ball to start, to be honest. But essentially there was this broken play where it was oh my God, what are they going to do with this? And Bogdan just stepped back for three and hit it. And I was like, ooh, Bogdan, my man. What a stud. De'Aaron Fox, he had a pretty nice dunk. Hold up. Oh, and sorry, my pen, as I was doing my notes, my pen was going out on me, so some of my notes are a little chicken scratchy because I had to write everything 9 times. But De'Aaron Fox had nice breakaway, fast break type dunk, and when he hit the dunk, Doug Christie hit us with a boing, going. He literally did that, and I was rolling. It was so funny. I was like, oh my God. My mom thought it was Homer Simpson. She was in the other room. She's like, was that Homer Simpson? I was like, no. That was Doug Christie. That's the sounds he makes. I don't know why, but he does. That was hilarious to me. Harry Giles had a nice little mid-range jumper. That was 2 of his 4 points. Wow. I told you guys I was tired. You didn't see that, though. Been up since 4:30 this morning. Harry Giles with a nice little mid-range jumper. Definitely, he looked like he was a little out of shape, but Harry Giles looked good. I'll tell you what. Harry Giles has the knees of an old man, even though he's young. Dwayne Dedmon plays like he has the knees of an old man, even though he doesn't. We need to take Dwayne Dedmon's knees. Well, I guess not really, because he has a knee sprain. But we got to do something to make Harry Giles great. We got to build Harry Giles up. If we have to risk the body parts of Dwayne Dedmon to do so, cut off his knee, give it to Harry Giles. Something. If he has a good knee, just scrap him for parts and give him to Harry Giles. Just throw him into the scrap heap when we're done with him. We need Harry Giles to be 100%. Harry Giles was looking like a stud. I do believe if Harry Giles played like he did in that short 6-minute stint, I know it sounds ridiculous because only 6 minutes. I do believe if he played like that the rest of the year, that would render Dwayne Dedmon useless. Now, a couple problems with that. One, Dwayne Dedmon's got $13 million invested in him, which is a very tradable contract. Say there's a Kevin Love, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, some sort of trade with those guys, big contracts. Dwayne Dedman could definitely be used in there as like filler for a team. So, that's like half of their contract just with Dwayne Dedman. But Dedman, the point I'm making is Dedman isn't that great, and Harry Giles played 6 minutes and already looked like he was better than Dedman, which is unfortunate because I wanted Dwayne Dedman to work. All he does is jack up threes, and it's like sometimes they barely hit the rim. It's like, how is that possible? So Dwayne Dedman, I don't know. Are we going to trade him? Is that what's going to happen? I feel like it's inevitable, but I mean, I don't know if who's going to want him if he's not playing very well. It's just kind of a weird situation. I'm curious to see how it ends. The point I was trying to make was Harry Giles plays with too much spunk, has too much of a spark to be a man that's kind of broken down knees his whole career. And Dedman plays like he's dead half the time. Pun not intended, but it is now, because I dead man. And he has no reason to play that way. From as far as no, he does look like he is one of those guys that looks like he's like 50 years old in the face. So maybe check his birth certificate. But the Kings at halftime were what? The score was 63-47. Sorry, I'm not guessing. I'm just adding numbers. 63-47 at halftime. The Kings were up a good amount, and it was nice to watch a game. Another yawn. I'll tell you what. The last breakdown, Curtis yawned 2 times, and one of them I laughed at. I bet he's laughing at me right now. Wow. We were ahead. It's nice actually watching the team. It's kind of funny. When the Kings are like blowing people out, it's kind of boring. But it's like, it's not like I'm used to that, so why am I so bored of it already? You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. But, third quarter, like I said, I don't have notes for this, so bear with me. But I just have a couple things I do want to talk about. I kind of might just skip the third quarter and go to the end, because I didn't, the first 7 minutes of third quarter I didn't see. I came home, I asked my dad, I said, Dad, how are they playing? He told me, same old third, we didn't pick up Harry's option, not sure what we traded. Skip says, we didn't pick up Harry's option, not sure what we would trade Dedman for. We won't have an idea until right before All-Star Weekend. Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's where I was going with that, and I got sidetracked. We didn't pick up Harry's option. That's the problem. So no matter how good he plays, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we could re-sign him for like $4 million or 3.9 or whatever. But the problem is, it's like, well, it's almost like you're betting on him to play really good and then get injured again, which sounds terrible to say. But how else do you say? I mean, because if you're the Kings and you want to keep Harry, there's no way to do it if he plays well. Yeah, I'm about to fall asleep live on stream, but there's no way to do it. Is there any way to keep Harry if he plays well? The answer is no. So it's almost like you're banking on him to get injured or play like or hope he plays crappy, or it's like the only other thing you could do, which I don't know how the bird rights work, but you could convince Harry Giles it's in his best interest to sign 1 more year for $4 million because we'll have his bird rights the next year, and then we could give him a huge contract because we have his bird rights. We can give him more than anybody else. Now that is illegal under the CBA to do such things, to guarantee a contract. To basically bribe somebody with a future contract to get to sign the current one. But we know that all the teams do it. Kevin Love, I'm pretty sure, fighting back a yawn right now. I'm pretty sure Kevin Love, when he signed his contract with the Cavs, he knew, like when he got traded there and all of a sudden he had a big contract. Because I don't think you can even agree to sign a contract, obviously, until you get traded to the team. But he was like, he wanted to go to a team where he could sign a big contract. So Harry won't get a better contract anywhere else that will give him minutes. He hasn't played enough yet. But what if he plays like even just like 20 minutes a game this year and he's like a beast? Or he's just like really good? Then what? I mean, it's entirely possible that happens. And then it's like we missed out on him. That's where I'm coming from on that. But yeah, the Harry thing is annoying. But what are you gonna do? So anyways, let's get into the third quarter. The third quarter, my dad said it was the same old crap. They came out lethargic, not playing defense, and that's what my dad said. Maybe Skip can add some, some stuff in the chat about the third quarter. But I did watch the end of the third quarter. The Kings, stagnant offense. They're just throwing the ball wherever, and even when the Kings play good, their offense is just gross. It's just like they do move the ball around, but everything starts with an ISO and then one pass, and then it's like the more they pass, the more momentum they get. But they're always starting in the half court, and there's always isolation basketball somewhere in it. So it's always like this might be a record for times I've yawned on stream before, and I've only been doing it for 20 minutes. That's crazy. Well, I streamed for 3.5 hours a day. I didn't yawn this much, so that's a problem. I gotta fix that. Maybe I gotta start doing drugs before my streams or something. Get me all amped up. I don't know. Well, the way this team plays, I may be doing drugs for the end of the season. Who knows? But regardless, let's get back to the task at hand here. I've never met somebody that distracts himself so much. Did I get it? Oh, there's this little gnat flying around. I literally was just talking about me being distracted, and there's a gnat flying around my room, and it's pissing me off. Okay, back to the task at hand. Third quarter, even the whole game, their offense, it's like they ISO, and then like somebody on defense does something bad, and they get a nice pass, and then they start to get a shot off, and then somebody comes over and recovers, so they pass to another open guy, and then it's like the offense starts going. But it's like there's never any momentum play to play because everything starts with an ISO again, but then it's like once they get it going, it's like a well-oiled machine, but it takes some time because everything's an ISO, and it wasn't like that last year. Now, like I said, I've said this before, I actually think it's important for the Kings to get their half-court offense going before, well, not before they run, because they definitely need to be running, but let me put it this way, and I think me and Skip talked about this on the phone, and he disagreed a little bit, but I feel like a lot of people want them to be in the playoffs this year, correct? Yes. And a lot of people are predicting it, especially with the Warriors going out. The Warriors aren't going to be even close at all. So that's a playoff spot. Say the Kings are in the playoffs. In the playoffs, the game usually slows down. You can't run. I was thinking, it'd be nice if the Kings had some sort of half-court offense because you can't just run. Eventually, you won't be able to do that. Eventually, they're going to put you to they're going to lock you down to half court. Then when you get locked down to half court, if you got nothing, then you're just going to get destroyed, And like a team like the Grizzlies, for example, say this team played the Grizzlies of 2013, 2014, or 14, 15, or whatever, they'd probably destroy us because our half court offense sucks. But here's the thing, our half court offense has been getting better, actually. And I think that it's important for us to have half court offense if we're going to make it far in the playoffs. Now, or if we're going to even make it to the playoffs. And, if we want to be competitive in the playoffs, we need to have some semblance of half-court offense. Now, that being said, we're not even running. So, like, I think we have strayed away too far from what we're good at, which is running, which is Luke Walton's thing. That's why we got to ask him, why are we not running? Does he want to try to get a half-court offense established first? And then we can just easily go back to the running he thinks? Is that what he thinks in his head? I don't know what he thinks. Oh, yes, it was Buddy's defense that got him extended bench time. Jeff the lefty, you read my mind. I was getting close to talking about that. But thank you for reminding me, because the way I am right now, I could forget. So, it's like, and Luke Walton said, I think it's important for them to... he did say something along the lines of, I think it's important for them to try to play in the half court and practice or basically try to limit their turnovers before I start running, because he was like, this was like, I think after our third game, he did a post-game interview, and he said, essentially, we've been turning the ball over a lot, so he wants us not to run and to play in the half court so that we can practice on limiting our turnovers, then we'll start running. Because he said when you're already turning the ball over a lot in the half court, and then when you're trying to run, you'll be turning the ball over a lot when you run, because teams naturally do when they're running up and down the floor, and then it's like all kinds of turnovers. Now I kind of disagree with that. You know, like the Warriors have always been a high turnover team, you know, even in their peak, you know, these last couple of years. But it is what it is. That's just how it is when you play that style. Now, I think what he kind of meant to say was he needs to get the half-court offense going because it's stagnant and it stinks, and it's a lot better than it used to be. But now we're not running it all, so that needs to be fixed. Third quarter, you know, they kind of picked it up towards the end of the third quarter going into the fourth. And into the fourth quarter, I didn't know how much faith I had, to be honest, because I think at one point the score was like 85-80. It was like pretty close, and we were not looking good. I noticed two things in the fourth quarter I want to talk about. I guess I'll go to Jeff the Lefty's thing first, because that's probably in order, you know, the order that they went in. Buddy Hield's defense, I don't know if it was Buddy Hield's defense actually, because he was handling the ball. So the two plays before he got taken out, one, he had the ball, he was driving to the basket, he got kind of scared, and he threw the ball like it was like a errant pass to like Bogdan or somebody, and basically I don't think it would have got to Bogdan anyways, but it got swatted by one of the Hawks, so it was our ball. And then Buddy went into the corner and was trying to do some dribble moves. He's like dribbled off his foot and ran out of bounds. Then Luke Walton got pissed and pulled him and put in not Bogdan, Bielitsa. So I think, because Buddy's defense isn't bad, but sometimes it wanes. It's like he gets, you know, my bad, sorry, got a Twitter notification. But I don't know if it was probably partly Buddy's defense, because it was waning here and there. You know, like Kevin Huerter got some open shots, which that man should never be getting open shots. He's like Andy Dalton's little brother. But you know, other than that, I think it was his carelessness with the ball, and that got him his bench time, and mixed with the fact that Bogdan was just hot. He was starting to feel the bucket. But that leads me into the next thing, and the last thing I want to talk about here in this breakdown of this game. Corey Joseph and Bogdan Bogdanovic, they have some beef, because there was 2 or 3 plays for sure where Bogdan would hit a 3, and the next time coming up the floor, I don't know if you can, let me know if you guys noticed this. Corey Joseph would be dribbling the ball coming up the floor. Bogdan would be in the corner going, like on the wing, going, and then he'd be going like that, like looking around, like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you giving me the ball? And then Corey Joseph would just ignore him, and Corey Joseph would like look at him and ignore him. And then like later on, Bogdan would get the ball, but it was like Bogdan. See, here's the thing: it was like Bogdan was feeling it. He wanted to go ISO step back 3, like you know how Bogdan can do. Everybody knows how Bogdan can do. He can do that. But it's like Corey Joseph was like, no, you got to get yours in the flow of the offense. You got to, you know, I'm the point guard here. We're running this pick and roll, and then you can swing the ball around, and then you get your ball. And I'm kind of torn on that. But he did it. But Kojo did it again. It's like the next, because I was telling my dad, hey, did you see Bogdan? The way he was like jumping up and down, like acting, because he was acting like Corey Joseph. Bogdan was acting like there was some sort of set play, and Corey Joseph was just ignoring it. That's kind of what it seemed like to me. But then I realized, wait, Bogdan's hot. Maybe he just wants to go ISO. Maybe Corey Joseph doesn't want him to go ISO. So Bogdan was calling, because I was telling my dad while Corey Joseph was coming up the court with the ball again, hey, did you see that last possession? Bogdan was jumping up and down like he was like unhappy with Corey Joseph. And then he started doing it again. I was like, look, he's doing it again. And then he even like went to post up and was like, passing the ball, and then Corey Joseph wouldn't do it. Eventually Bogdan got the ball and shot 3 and made it in that same exact possession. But I found it weird. Now the second unit played phenomenal, by the way. Trevor Ariza played great. Bogdan played great. Corey Joseph played really good. But I gotta wonder, is there a difference in philosophy between with the second unit, with the ball handlers? It seems like Corey Joseph wants to run plays, run pick and rolls, which I would probably prefer that to Bogdan's like it seems like when he gets the ball anymore, it's just like him going ISO on the perimeter. Now, if Bogdan is hitting his shot, I want that 10 times out of 10. But it's probably smarter for Corey Joseph to be trying to get a pick and roll, create some sort of offense. So I'm kind of torn on how I feel about that. But I think if Bogdan's a hot man, you got to give him the ball. I just think you got to give him the ball if he's hot. You just have to. But let me know if you guys, like in YouTube, leave in the comments down below. Twitch.tv/tap2k43, by the way, if you want to come watch this live. See the chatting going on right there? I know you see it. I know you like it. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, am I seeing things? Is it just me? Or it definitely seemed like Corey Joseph was either not following the directions of the coach, or like there was a play called by somebody and Corey Joseph didn't follow it, or Bogdan was just frustrated that he was hot and they weren't giving him the ball right when he asked for it. I don't know which one it is. I really don't know. But it seemed weird to me. I'm hoping there's not some sort of beef between the two. And it's just probably playing, there's playing basketball and difference of, when you're playing pickup and you're like, pass, and you're like wide open in the corner, and the dude like drives to the basket and makes a layup, and you're like, I guess we scored, but I was still open, and you drove, or maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the most selfish basketball player on earth. Probably. It's probably a pretty good assessment of my game. But anyways, guys, we ended up getting the W. Bogdan absolutely killed it. Let's go over to the box score one more time. Corey Joseph was getting the guys to settle down and run the clock down. That was, he definitely was doing that for sure. But this was like, man, I wish I could pull it up, to be honest. Maybe I'll I don't know. I'll try to find out a way to pull it up, in the next couple of days. Maybe I'll make like a quick video on it or something. And honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal, so I don't think I should. But it did seem like Corey Joseph was like, no, we're doing this my way. Which he has won the chip and has a lot of experience in situations, but we just wanted to score, not the right move. See, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. Because, I definitely think Corey Joseph knows what he's doing. And, I think Bogdan was hot and he wanted to just shoot. But there's been times in the past, and this is where I had problems with Dave Yeager, where it seemed like as soon as somebody would get hot, Dave Yeager would yank him, or as soon as somebody would get hot, it was like they wouldn't pass the hot guy anymore. Lost Sheep 26 says no. I don't know what he's saying. But I agree. No, I don't know what are you talking about. But anyways. So to me, it's like I'm torn because I always feel like the hot guy should get the ball. At the same time, I don't want some guy just chucking up bricks when we need buckets. And Corey Joseph, obviously, like you said, has championship experience, and he's the point guard. So, it's probably weird I saw it. Corey Joseph clapped and told Bogey to give him the ball, and he was right. And he still got Bogey the ball, but where there was less time and in a better spot. This ain't Dave Yeager. This is a new coach. Gotta let go of the past. I know. Oh, okay. Okay, Lost Sheep. Thanks for the clarification. I know it's not Dave Yeager, and I am let go of the past. All I'm saying is there was times last year where the hot man was not getting the ball, and it was very frustrating. And I don't want to see that. I want to see the hot guy get the ball. It's like Steph Curry gets hot and they just don't pass to him anymore. That doesn't happen. So why would that happen with us? Why should it happen with us? It shouldn't. And I know this isn't Dave Yeager. I'm not sitting here trying to talk about Dave Yeager, especially when I was already saying I wanted to back 2 weeks or a week ago. But all I'm saying is I don't want us to have an offense where it's if there's somebody that's on fire and you just don't pass it to him because it's we got to get Harrison Barnes this corner three. See, that's the other thing, though, and that's why I'm so torn on it, because I think Bogdan, Lost Sheep says, is the hot guy a ball hog, and I think at times Bogdan is a ball hog. If he's a ball hog, I don't want to give him the ball. Skip says it's not enough just to get the hot guy the ball. Get the hot guy the ball at the right time in the right spot, but the hot guy shouldn't be ball pounding. We don't have a Steph Curry. We need to play as a team. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to word it to make sense. Everything I'm saying is Skip is destroying me with logic and facts, which it's true. I'm not saying like, yeah, is Bogdan better off getting a 3 probably in the flow of the offense? Yes. But I don't know. I mean, like, what's Bogdan's most famous shot since he's been a king? The ball in hand, step back 3. So if he's hot, do you want him shooting that? Stephen Curry is not like some kind of food. So yeah, I don't know. Obviously people are thinking all kinds of different things in chat. And if you're on YouTube, follow the Twitch, twitch.tv/tap2k43, or I always say my Twitch, twitch.tv/the Sacktown Breakdown. And you guys can come and chat with us during the live shows, and you can tell me that I'm wrong and I'm terrible and I suck. So, anyways, that was kind of my thing between Corey Joseph and Bogdan. Bogdan wants the ball now. Corey Joseph wants to run the offense. And Corey Joseph played phenomenal tonight too. And so did Trevor Ariza. Look, standing ovation. I mean, if I stand, you'll just see my stomach, but I'll do it. Okay. Yeah, YouTube people, come join us. See, look, we're begging you to come join us. Come do it. Come on. You have to, or else. That was a threat. So, Corey Joseph, Trevor Ariza, they played great tonight too. They, our depth that we signed in the offseason that was supposed to get us to the playoffs and get us to the next level because our team was going to be so deep, and we finally got it tonight. Regardless of the Corey Joseph, Bogdanovich thing, Bogdan Bogdanovich was finally able to just be a shooting guard. Skip said, I know what you're saying, and if you listen to the post-game interview with Bogey, he think Corey and the vets were being experienced and making the right decisions at the right time. I actually did see that. I did listen to the post-game interview with Grant and Doug. I did see that, and it's funny. The other thing I've noticed, and let me know if I'm wrong, has Bogey just been moping around all season? It seems like every time, and maybe that's just how Bogdan is, because he's just like a machine. He's like a Terminator himself. But it seems like before tonight, like tonight it was the first game I feel like I've seen him smile. I feel like every other game he's just like mad all the time, or just like serious face. Like he's never like happy. Yes, the Kings did win tonight. They beat the Hawks. But I mean, maybe it's just me, but it seems like Bogdan kind of is moping around all the time. It seems like he's not. But tonight he was like happy and he was hitting threes and he was kind of taunting, looking at the Hawks bench. I was like, damn, Bogey got his swagger back. But he did say in the post-game interview, he always had the confidence. It's just about the rhythm. And this is another thing I'm going to say about Luke Walton. You got to play this man Bogdan more. Bogdan needs more minutes because Bogdan. I think Bogdan needs to play more to get rhythm. He said, I always have the confidence. It's about the rhythm. That tells me, that's kind of like a hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Like, hey, I know I can get these buckets, but you got to let me get some rhythm. Let me get some more minutes. Because most games, it was like 17, 18, 19, 20 minutes for Bogdan. Trevor Ariza would get like 25, 26, 20. And I'm like, what? Why are we giving Trevor Ariza that many minutes? And it's been... Skip says it's just how he is. English isn't his first language. Watch all the Serbian interviews. They are stoic when interviewed. They show passion on the court. Yeah, well, I tried to watch a Nikola Jokic interview, but he was just shoving Joe Jonas in his face. I couldn't even understand what he was saying. So anyways, Bogdan, I don't know. Right on, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, so I think Bogdan needs more minutes. Honestly, I want to see Bogdan. I know this is going to maybe be bad, but I want to see him in the starting lineup just for a game. Because I want to see... Well, see, I feel like you can't do Bogdan in the starting lineup, actually, because you got De'Aaron, Buddy. Harrison Barnes has been playing so good. Like, he'll handle the ball. He'll shoot the three. He'll drive to the back. Like I said, he'll handle the ball. He'll drive to the basket, get the foul. Even if he doesn't make it, he gets the free throws. Sorry, I was reading chat. Harrison Barnes has been playing really good, and I feel like if he's playing against fours, he might not be able to do that, or maybe he'd be able to abuse them more. I'm not sure. But I would like to see Bogdan play more minutes. Even if you do have the De'Aaron, Buddy, Bogdan, Barnes, Holmes, or Bagley, or Giles, whatever lineup. And because I want to see him get minutes, like starting minutes, almost. Because I think he needs to get into a rhythm. I think he can't just like play. It seems like a lot of times he's playing like little 3-4 minute spurts, and then he just gets yanked out. And then or a 5 minute spurt here, a 3 minute spurt there, 8 minutes there. And I know it's like part of an NBA player, you should be able to do that. But if he needs to get in a rhythm, like he said, then what do you do? So that's it. Okay, I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, I pretty much covered it all there. I went a lot more into the Bogdanovich thing than I wanted to, but yeah, that is the breakdown for this game. The Kings beat the Hawks. We're now 3-6, and I'm happy. Skip said he's averaging 24 minutes. He started the season really bad, and we have Fox, Corey, Joseph, Buddy, Bogey as our main guards. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's just something in my head where I feel like we're not playing him that much, but we are. Because it feels like Trevor Ariza is always on the court, and Bogdanovich sometimes in games is nowhere to be found. So maybe it's just something, maybe it's just in my head. Maybe I'm going crazy. But the Kings are 3-6. We're getting buckets out here. Lost Sheep, Jeff the Lefty, Skip, obviously. I want to thank you guys all in the chat. YouTube viewers, thank you so much for watching us and supporting us. That's where all of our stuff goes. Skip's favorite Kings player is Bogdanovich. So if you try to threaten Bogdanovich, if you say Bogdanovich smells or he's not that good looking, Skip and Tosh will come over to your house, cook you 3 fried eggs over easy, take said fried eggs, shove 2 of them in your ears, 1 of them in your mouth, cook some toast, crumple it up, shove it in your nose, fry some bacon, crumble it like Salt Bae on top of your head, and it'll kick your teeth in. Because that's how great Skip and Tosh is. I don't know where that came from. I think it's time for me to go to bed. That was an out-of-body experience right there. All right, well, anyways, for Skip in the chat, Lost Sheep, Jeff the Lefty, thank you guys so much for coming in and chatting with us. I'm Tyler, Tap2K. Thank you to our sponsors, by the way, Taboo Ohana. I gotta get some graphics, put them on the screen. Computer Booter, Taboo Ohana. Thank you guys so much. And I'm reading the chat right now. Chat like my little WWE style promo I just pulled that. I don't know where that came from. That's kind of crazy. Thank you guys to our sponsors. Thank you guys in the chat. That was the breakdown. Love you guys so much. Thank you for watching us. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Actually, I won't be in the next one. Skip's going to be the next one. I'm taking a little 6-day hiatus or whenever the next game is after the Tuesday game. Little break because I got birthdays to attend to. My girlfriend's birthday. It's the old ball and chain. You know how it is. I gotta whisper that. Don't let her know I said that. Okay, I'm getting out of here, guys. I'm going crazy. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. It was fun. Love you guys. See ya.